Paragraph 30.10. Within 6 months after practical completion of the work, the contractor shall send to the architect and quantity surveyor all the documents necessary in preparing the final account, and the final account shall be completed within 6 months upon receiving the documents from the contractor. In this case, as we can see, both Mr. Lee and Ms. Alina acted correctly according to the PAN contract 2018 with quantities under the clause 30.10, as Mr. Lee has submitted all the necessary documents to Ms. Alina in less than 6 months, and Ms. Alina has completed the final account within 4 months.
30 days after Mr. Lee receiving final account.
I think there is something wrong with this final account. I need to call Miss Alina and Mr. Jamal to inform them about this.
Hello?
Hello, Steve. I'm Mr. Lee, the contractor for Project Premier Tower.
Hello, Mr. Lee. How may I help you?
Yeah. About the final account that you produced, I disagree with the amount given on ground that there are artificial error on page 5 and 7 of the final account, and loss and expense claim for delay due to freak storm in January that doesn't include in the calculation.
Okay, thank you for informing me. But you need to submit written notice to me and Mr. Jamal, then I can proceed with checking final account.
Okay. Thank you for informing me.
Okay, thank you for your response.
40 days after Mr. Lee receiving the final account, Mr. Lee came to Mr. Jamal's office to submit the written notice.
Yeah, come in. Hi, Mr. Jamal. Hi, Mr. Lee. Please take a seat. Oh, thank you. Okay. Today I want to submit this written notice about my disagreement for the final account that Miss Alina produced. Oh, about the Premier Tower. Okay, thank you. Later I will discuss with Miss Alina. I think that's all. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jamal. Thank you, Mr. Lee.
In this case, the written notice provided by Mr. Lee will be accepted and legally valid. According to the clause 30.10b, the party disputing the final account shall give the written notice to another party, as well as copies to the architect and quantity surveyor, within 3 months after receiving the final account from the architect or quantity surveyor. The written notice should contain a detailed description of the disagreement. As a result, Mr. Lee has acted correctly in accordance with the requirements of PAN Contract 2018, as he sent a written notice to Mr. Jamal within 40 days, which is within 3 months of the date of receipt of the final account from Miss Alina. Hence, Miss Alina will be responded immediately by checking the detail in the final account after receiving the written notice from Mr. Lee. Miss Alina shall either choose to amend or not to amend the final account within 3 months of the date of receipt of the ground of disputes. After Mr. Jamal received the written notice from Mr. Lee, he comes to Miss Alina's office to discuss the disagreement, and this is how Miss Alina responds.
Yes, come in.
Hi, Miss Alina.
Hi, Mr. Jamal. Yes.
Thank you. So, this is the written notice about disagreement with Mr. Lee about the final account.
Oh, okay. Let me check first. I shall amend the artificial errors on page 5 and 7 of the final account, but the loss and expense claim for delay due to freak storm in January, I shall not amend it.
Okay, after you have made the necessary change, please submit it, Mr. Lee.
Okay.
Why loss and expense still not include in this calculation? I need to submit a written notice to Miss Alina, I think.
Mr. Lee came to Miss Alina's office to submit the written notice for disagree with the amended final account.
Yes, come in.
Hi, Miss Alina.
Hi, Mr. Lee. Please have a seat.
Oh, thank you.
How may I help you?
About the final account, I think I'm still not satisfied with it. So this is a written notice that for my disagreement for the final account that you amended. And one more thing, I want to ask you, why I can't claim the loss and expense due to freak storm in January?
Because according to clause 24.3 in PAN Contract 2018, freak storm is not one of the matters materially affecting the regular progress of the works. If you still disagree, you need to refer to an arbitrator for a written notice under clause 27.1.
So I want to ask you one more thing.
Okay.
What should I do if I'm still not happy with a decision of arbitrator?
In this case, you can apply a new arbitrator from the Tubohan Architect Malaysia after 21 days of receiving written notice from arbitrator.
Oh, okay.
As a reminder,
Yeah.
if you fail to refer the dispute to arbitrator within this certain period, it means that you agree with the current final account.
Oh, okay. Thank you for your reminder.
Okay, no problem.
That's all for me. Thank you, Miss Alina.
Mediation is an effective way for Mr. Lee to resolve the dispute in the final account. Mr. Lee can refer the dispute to arbitration as provided under the clause 37.0 and refer to the arbitrator for a written notice to resolve the dispute. among the parties. If Mr. Lee disagreed the appointment of the arbitrator after the expiration of 21 days from the date of receiving the written notice, Mr. Lee shall apply to the President of PAM to appoint an arbitrator. However, if Mr. Lee fails to refer the dispute to arbitration within the stipulated period, the final account shall be deemed to conclude and agree by the parties.
65 days after the phone call to Mr. Jama, Mr. Lee come to Mr. Jama office to submit the written notice.
Yes, come in. Hi, Mr. Jamal. Oh, thank you. What can I help you today? I want to submit this written notice about my disagreement with the final account that Alina produced. Oh, unfortunately, I can accept your written notice because today is 27 December, which is 35 days after you have received an account. Oh, yeah? The deadline is 3 months after you receive the final account. This is stated in PAM contract 2018. In clause 30.10b, if a party disagree or dispute the final account has been complete, the party must send a written notice within 3 months of the date of receipt the final account. So you have a little bit late, Mr. Lee.
Oh my god, this is really my big problem with this project.
Oh, I'm sorry. But I cannot do anything.
Oh, it's okay, Mr. Jamal. Thank you for your information.
In this case, the disagreement or argument in Mr. Lee's written notice will not be accepted, as it is not legally valid due to the deadline for submitting the written notice has passed. Mr. Lee had contacted Mr. Jamal and Ms. Alina through phone 30 days after receiving the final account. Then, 65 days after the phone call only provided the written notice to Mr. Jamal. Hence, the overall number of days for submitting the written notice has increased to 95 days. As a result, it appears that the parties determined that Mr. Lee had relinquished his right to raise any dispute, and no amendment will be made by Ms. Alina. That's all from us. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.